Hello. Okay, good morning, guys. Um, my name is Kifosu, as you already know, and we are going to talk about engineer liquidity in this video. It's quite simple. It's quite complicated. If I know some of you know this, right? So it's just a revision for you guys, and those of you who don't know, this is an opportunity for you to learn. And before I go on, let me tell you this truth. Engineer liquidity, for me, I don't use it as a strategy. All right, I use it for an entry because you need an edge that will tell you the direction of the market. You need an edge that will help you manage your risk, and also you need an edge that will help you in an entry. And when it comes to entry, that is when I use engineer liquidity. All right, so I don't see engineer liquidity anywhere and everywhere and start trading it because it is engineer liquidity. No, but I add it to other things, and when I go to the entry, I start looking for the engineer liquidity. So note this. All right, so we all know that in bullish markets we have something like this. So before we can say that the bullishness is over or the bears are now in control, first we must take the immediate high, and second we must take the immediate low. All right, so we take the highs and then lows. When this happens, we can say that the bears are now in control. Now when this happens, this line, the first high that they took, becomes what we call the engineered liquidity. All right, let me see if I have the labeling. Yeah, engineered liquidity. All right, and the highest high they went before taking the low, the last low, is what we call the Federamus deviation, FMD, the Federamus deviation. All right, so what are we expecting price to do? We're expecting price to come back inside here, respect the engineer liquidity, and then drop. To come back here, respect the engineer liquidity, and then do what? Drop. So when it happens like this, your entry will be on the engineer liquidity, and then your stop loss will be on the Federamus deviation. Your stop loss will be on the Federamus deviation. So we expect price to come here, then drop. This is bearish type of engineer liquidity. It happens when the bullishness is over or when the bears are in control. All right, okay, so let's go for examples before we move on to bearish. Sorry, bullish. Let's go for examples on the charts. Go for examples. I want a clear example for you guys, right? I want a clear example for you guys so that let me use different pair. BTC. No. Let me use a forex pair. Okay, let's use AUD JPY. See if you can find. Yes, I see something over here. So before we can have an engineer liquidity, first we need to have a shift, a market shift. All right, a market shift to the opposite direction of the current trend of the market. All right, so now you can see that from this trend we have the lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, then we broke this last lower low. All right, we broke this last lower low. So this place was the last high they took. Let me make it yellow, sorry, blue, and this place is the last high they took, confirming the structure break. All right, confirming the structure break. This is the last low they took, This is the last high they took. So when they take the high, it is not a structure break until the low is also taken. All right, until the low is also taken. So this is just a BOS, or break of market structure. Um, break of structure, yes, but this is a shift or a coach or BMS, or whatever you call it, you are correct. The most important thing is getting the ideology behind here, meaning that the structure is changed from bullish to bearish. All right, so now this is the last high they took. But when it comes to engineer liquidity, we don't consider the risks. All right, so you place it here. You get my point. I said when it comes to engineer liquidity, we don't consider the risks. All right, so this place was the highest high they went before they came to take the engineer liquidity. So it becomes the furthermost deviation, and this place is the engineer liquidity. So we expect price to come here and then drop. I've told you there are other things you need to consider, and checking this trade. The stop loss is about 54 pips, which is not my regular stop loss. I use at most I use 30 pips or 20 pips. You see, stop loss, you don't determine stop loss. Stop loss is supposed to be where it must be. You cannot say that, yo, I'm risking 20 pips. No, don't do that. A stop loss should be where it should be. All right. So let's say you are supposed to stop here on the furthermost deviation, and you said I want to reach 20 pips, so you bring it somewhere here. No, it's wrong, because price can take you out before dropping. So stop loss is supposed to be where it must be. All right. So you rather have to decrease your lot size. When the stop loss increases, you decrease your lot size. When the stop loss decreases, you increase your lot size. And I gave you a video on how to calculate risk simple using my FX book application. All right. So stop loss always must be where it's supposed to be. Yes. All right. So now let's play the market and then see how it goes. So it got triggered, and then it came back running profit. We are not talking about directional bias here, so we not talk about profit targets here. Our this video is targeted on engineer liquidity, right? So let's focus on that for now. Right, so what else? What else? This is where we are. And we have another untested engineer liquidity. Let me remove everything. We have another untested engineer liquidity over here. So if other confluences agrees or no, remember we took this high, so we wait for this low to be taken. The low is taken, so it means this place qualifies to be engineer liquidity, and here is the furthermost deviation. So for engineer liquidity, if you want to see it clearly, if you are confused, switch to line charts. All right, if you are confused, it's better you switch to line chart to get the real engineer liquidity. All right, so back to candlestick chart. Whether it has been tested or not tested is still engineer liquidity. So AUD JPY, is where the price is. So if other confluences matches, price might come here, read all these liquidities, and then. All right, so let's continue. I was saying that if other confluences matches, and AUD JPY, I think I've not analyzed it for the upcoming week. Why? Because I see a lot of liquidities over here. This from the concept of SMC, these are all liquidities. All right, these guys, all these rejections, they are all liquidities. All these rejections are all liquidities. So I have video on liquidities. Oh, okay. So I'll send it to you guys. I have a video on liquidity already, so I'll send it to you. In addition with this, so this liquidity engineer different from that liquidity SMC liquidity I'm talking about. All right, so price might come here and then drop. So let's look for more examples. Let's look for more examples with you guys before we go to the bearish side. Let's look for more examples. More examples. Let us look for more examples. Let's see if this one. Can see we have clean linear liquidity over here. Let's see. Price respected it, but it took another period to respect it. But eventually it came and gave a few pips for the drop. You can see this high was taken and the low was taken. So we have a shift, meaning this place is the engineer liquidity. And for engineer liquidity, I really love to use blue line. And here is the furthermost deviation. All right. And when you come here, you can see that when price came here, where is this guy? Yes, they are here. When price came here, respected it, dropped for some few pips. Maybe there are other reasons why it didn't. So maybe there are other reasons why it couldn't drop for much, but at least it got respected. Now our purpose is to know what engineer liquidity is, not got being respected or not. So now let's go to the bearish one. Bearish one. Something like this. The bearish market, we need to take the low and then the last high. Change structure. Alright, so when it happens like this place becomes the engineer liquidity. This is a shift. And this is a furthermost deviation. So expect price to come here, then goes up. So this place becomes your entry. The stop loss is here, right? Now the first example is the trade I'm in, AUD JPY. Let me use different broker. I took the entry in 50 minutes. So you can see that we had a shift over here. We had a shift. Over here. And then this was the last low they took. Alright. This place the last low because we don't add the engineer, we don't add the risks we consider here. And I've told you if you are confused, switch on to line chart. You see what I'm talking about. Alright. If you are confused, switch on to line chart. But when it comes to the furthermost deviation, we add the risks, and when it comes to the shift, we add the risks. But it's only the engineer liquidity that we don't consider the risks. So this place becomes our furthermost deviation. I told you earlier on that engineer liquidity is just for entries. So meaning this trade, I had other things in place before aligning at this level, because you first have to know the direction, what is happening in the higher time frame before maybe you can go to lower time frame and then look for engineer liquidity. Another thing, there's something we call the time frame coordination. Weekly goes to 4 hour, 4 hour goes to 30 minutes, then 5 minutes. Then from monthly, move to daily, move to 1 hour, and then 15 minutes. 15 minutes also goes to 5 minutes or 3 minutes. All right. So this is just engineer liquidity we are talking about. And you can see what happened over here. You can see what happened over here. And this is where we closed. Yeah, got respected. I think let me go to USD JPY. USD JPY to price engineer liquidity over here. We had a shift around here. Now we have our Federated deviation over here. Let's see what happened. Beautiful entry. So engineer liquidity is for entries. Okay, so if you have a strategy that gives you direction and other things, just use engineer liquidity as an entries. All right. Remember, I've already given you a strategy about direction or a hint about direction. That is phase structure break. When you see phase structure break, it means that price is about to go to the opposite direction. All right, to grab more liquidities to come back and then take the low that it failed to take or the high that it failed to take. All right, so when it happens like this, you go to when it happens in daily time frame, you go to 15 minutes time frame, look for engineer liquidity. All right, when FSB phase structure break happens in the daily time frame, you go to 1 hour time. Sorry, you go to 15 minutes time frame to look for engineer liquidity over there. All right, the same thing when it happens in weekly time frame, you go to 30 minutes time frame to look for engineer liquidity over there. Perfectly. So this is where I will end. If you have any question, the discussion group is open. You can ask, and then I will be glad to answer you. Thank you and take care.